All right, guys. It's your girl Aniya A, and I am back for another amazing night and an amazing time with all of you wonderful people out there on social media land throughout the world. First of all, check in with me. Let me know where you are watching from. As you guys know, today is a beautiful day here in the neighborhood, and I'm excited to be alive. But furthermore, I'm excited that there are people that are excited with me in this world. And I say that to say we can be a people that are pretty much, I don't know, self absorbed, sometimes pretty negative, sometimes pretty outrageous. But one thing I know for sure is that there are people that are out here living positively and doing great work. And I want to commend all those that are staying positive each and every day and who really care about our community, about our well being, and things of that nature. So I'm super excited about tonight due to the fact that I'm here, number one. And number two, I had a pretty adventurous day. Your girl Aniya A did some stuff tonight that was pretty amazing and exciting. And I'm thankful for every opportunity I get to experience new things. So, if you guys don't know, earlier today, real quick to start off this show, earlier today, I got to be in the presence of a dear friend, a sister by the name of Miss Totney. And she is the business owner I've been promoting for the past week. Also, as you guys may be aware, but you may not be aware, we are now going to be taking, I don't want to say applications, but I want to say for those that have small businesses that want to sponsor, that want to, I guess, promote your companies, we have a database of thousands of people. And my next partnerships rather, will definitely open the door for many people to be connected. And I say that because what I'm building, first of all, is not about me. Let's start there, but it's about community and it's about people. So I'm so glad that I have reconnected with certain people in this community, primarily and particularly those that are business minded themselves. I'm not going to go into 100% details as to who I'm referring to, but just know that this endeavor will be very profitable, as well as it will really open up the conversations as to why uh, people, minority people, should be working together, should have opportunity, excuse me, of promoting one another, and why we should create this economic cooperative situation, which basically means putting our monies together, putting our heads together, and definitely making a difference, right? So every day your girl is on the grind, working hard and literally pushing the envelope. And when I say pushing the envelope, I basically mean sharing opportunities with those that would not have had access. What starts off as a dream and a desire and an idea manifests, excuse me, itself into much more if you work that thing. If you work that thing, if you continue to stay positive, and if you are able to see the greatest outcome. See, guys, real quick before our special guest gets on live tonight, I'm a dreamer, right? And as a young lady and as a student in school, one of the things that happened with Aniya A is I used to get in a lot of trouble growing up. I'm talking about beatings and all. As a Haitian young lady, you'll know that Haitian parents don't give a damn. They will beat you and then tell you to call the police. Amen. And so, with that being said, one of the things that happened with me and how I am the way I am today, I think, is because I dreamed of different things. I literally would see things in my imagination. I would see things, oh my gosh, my whole arm is like ridiculous. I would see things in my imagination, but furthermore, I would have these desires that people around me wouldn't technically have or what have you. And it was amazing growing up when I would dream of a thing and then that thing would come to pass. It would happen. Welcome to the Aniya A show. And why am I sharing that at the very start of this platform? The reason I'm sharing this is because I want people to know out there that dreams can and will come true, but you have to be willing You have to be willing to go for that dream, because if that dream doesn't manifest and become a reality, then all you've been doing was sleeping with ideas, and that was it. I'm here to manifest ideas, and I'm here to grow each and every day and make the most difference, and also be the best person I can be as I grow with my community. So I wanted to share that right off the bat, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because we have an incredible opportunity to make differences every day. But if you don't know that you can make a difference or be somebody's blessing instead of curse, then you probably would not be that go-to person. Amen. So I just wanted to share that starting off. I also wanted to say this: who is in the Christmas spirit? I know we're going into Turkey Day, which is, I think, either tomorrow or Thursday, right? All these days are kind of going into each other. So I believe Thursday is Turkey Day, Thanksgiving Day, or what have you. But I don't consider this a holiday, and I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So I like to skip right through the whole Thanksgiving mayhem and go right into Christmas. I'm in the Christmas spirit this year, and I just want you guys to know that Santa has been super good to me. Right, Dream? I literally prayed and wished for a friend for Lucky, guys, and guess what? I got Dream. And Dream is now our new pet in the family. And he is the most adorable, most vivacious, I guess you want to say, right, Dream? And he's the sweetest little cuddling thing you'll ever see. So right now, Dream is gonna make another appearance. I know Lucky is so mad, but Lucky had to go in his room, in my room. Aw, there's Dreamy Poo, as he just lays on me like this. Yes, thank you so much, Gregory Roberts. It's a great sight to see with you too, honey. We have another fur baby in the house, and his name is Dream, and we love him. Shouts out to the Johnson sisters for this beautiful little miracle here. He is my miracle baby, and I love him so much. Welcome to the Aniya A show, guys. It's so good to see all of you all over Facebook and Instagram tonight. You're tuned in to your girl Aniya A as I share some great information, get you all connected to one another, talk about my newest puppy, my blessing from God. And it's so sad because I had to lock Lucky up, but that's not new. You know, Lucky, I don't know how to act. And that's why I had to get him a friend, AKA a brother, a road dog, because he gets out of pocket sometimes and I can't handle him. So, with that being said, we're going to see where our special guest is tonight, Mr. David McFly Mims, and we are going to see whether or not he remembered about us or not. I think he remembered. Oh, I have a new visitor here. I have several new visitors on IG tonight, guys. We have Manu Cherie, we have LCO, who I think is my auntie, whom I love. Then we also have Eric Flink Designs. Hello, hello, hello. And on my left hand side, let's wave to the Gospel Twins. We also have the Gospel Twins, and I met one of the Gospel Twins, well, half of the Gospel Twins many years ago, and they were very, very sweet. Well, the half of the twins were very, very sweet, and I love them, and I love their energy and their spirit. I say they because I got to listen to some of their work, and literally, I'm blessed, to know about those that are doing work in the gospel arena. So, with that being said, we need to find out where Mr. David is to make sure he is still coming on tonight. And then, guys, we can talk more about the Christmas holiday. And also, I guess we can talk about the fact that I hope everybody is safe during this Thanksgiving holiday, even though I don't celebrate Turkey Day. But you know what, guys? I am a strong believer that we have to hold each other accountable during these times, right? So let me know what you guys are doing tonight, where you are writing from, and also, is that David McFly Mims? All right. Are you tuning in? Are you going to be able to join us momentarily? It's tonight. Okay, so you're on in just a moment. Just click on that Zoom link and you're on. You're welcome. See you in a few. Bye. All right, guys. So that was David who thought he was on. Oh, wait a minute. I must have made that mistake. Did I say Wednesday? Oh, I did say Wednesday on that flyer. It actually was Aniya A's mistake. It does say Wednesday the 24th. Sorry, guys. Tonight, hello, Mimi, checking in from Toronto, Canada. I actually made a flumber blunder. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Tonight we are having on David McFly Mims, and this is the first time Aniya A really screwed that up, guys. I apologize. You know what's so crazy? I was in the middle of 3 meetings and while I was preparing the flyer. So it says Wednesday. So I want to publicly apologize to David McFly Mims, who is gonna kill me. Yeah, tonight is the night that David is making his grand appearance, but he is actually like a contributor who's always with us here on the Aniya A show. But that doesn't mean anything. We should never make mistakes on flyers. I was in 3 meetings at the time of putting this flyer together for David. So I want to publicly apologize to David McFly Mims, who is our friend. He's a leader in the community. He's amazing, and he's coming on in just a few moments here to share a positive update and message in regards to staying healthy during this COVID season. So I apologize, David, wherever you are, please, please, please. It's your girl Aniya A apologizing. This has never happened since the beginning of my platform here on the Aniya A show. I literally was in between like 4 different things happening. And of course, being a new mommy again with a new pup, that was kind of difficult as well, trying to get those puppies together. And I apologize. I have to make it up to David ASAP. He's such a great guy. So that is my apology, guys. David should be on momentarily with your girl Aniya A, and he is here again to share some really great information as to how we can stay healthy mentally, emotionally, and I'm presuming physically, because David is a big like workout person. Like he really cares about staying healthy and stuff. So I'm really excited to have him on tonight. You guys have seen him throughout the community, but you've also seen him on the Aniya A show. He is a native Harlemite. He is brilliant, and he really cares for the people. And that's what we love the absolute positive most about David McFly Mims. That's the homie right there. So I'm resending him that link, guys. Again, please forgive me. It's Aniya A saying, I am so sorry about that. And he should be on momentarily. In the meantime, we have such great things happening in our communities, guys. And I'm just literally happy to report that our community is growing. You know, we have the ECI growing. Mimi's a part. Tomorrow's meeting is going to be super dope, Mimi. We're planning for that workshop coming up very soon. So everybody stay tuned. Okay, David is here. David, can you hear me?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, David, you know what? You are right partially. So just to let you know, I was in between 3 meetings as well as putting that flyer together earlier, and it says Wednesday instead of Tuesday. And
Yeah.
I apologize.
It's cool, it's common human error. It's like, we all make mistakes and things like of that nature. The good thing about it is that, we're intelligent enough to see our mistakes so that we could prevent it in the future.
That's absolutely correct. Well, I know you are on the go. You're a bit, what are you doing? What are you eating, Dave? You guys, he's a nut. David McFly Mims, the visionary.
Healthy, though.
What is it?
I said I'm still eating healthy, though.
Okay, what is it?
So it's a strawberry cream pie.
Strawberry cream pie, so healthy. I thought it was a hot dog, so you're lucky. Oh my God. Well, David, I'm so happy that you are definitely able to join us, even though I made that huge error. But like you said, we're all human. David, the reason you're on tonight is to share about why it's important for us to stay healthy, especially during this time, David. We got started in talking about it last night, but I wanted to
Uh,
save that entire portion and conversation for this evening because this is my health night. And with what you're about to share, I know it was going to be amazing. Welcome again, those that are watching. You're listening to your girl Aniya A and her very special guest, leader, visionary, activist, as well as music and television producer, director, David McFly Mims, who has really cool drones, may I add. Super dope, super dope. Talk to us about the healthy aspect of this time we're in.
all right. Well, the healthy aspect. Well, first of all, we have to define health. Like,
Mm,
health. What's the definition of health?
correct.
So, I came to like, my definition of being health is like your status, whether it's your physical status, your mental status, your financial status, um, a lot of status. So people have to like be aware of that.
Okay.
Oh, when it comes to like, your physical health, I do believe people need to keep themselves in good shape, eat well, eat healthy. Don't eat things that will damage and destroy your body. And
Mm,
also, reckless behavior, such as excessive drinking, like alcohol, because that will affect your health. Drugs will affect your health. And
totally.
depending on the type of drugs that you take, it'll definitely damage your mental health as well, too. So you have to be aware of that. Um, yeah, so we definitely have to be aware of that. And what people don't realize is that your health can trickle down um, throughout generations.
Yes.
So, like, if you're not taking care of yourself physically, when you have children, your children will have, birth defects and also possible mental defects as well too, which will make it more difficult for them to like live, throughout their lives. Like if your kid is born without an arm because the father or mother was taking drugs before the moment of contraception.
Mm,
People really need to like realize and understand how important health is, because it definitely can be go down genetically if you're not really taking care of yourself. So that that is important with the physical health. And then another thing is that another reason why your physical health is important, because your mind, not just your mind, but your body is your first investment. You know,
talk about that.
yeah, your body is your first investment. So if you're not taking care of your body, you're not going to be in a physical condition to get up out of your bed. You're not going to be in the physical condition to get up and work. So and make your money, so that your finances could be better. I
Yes.
mean, how can you there's a lot of people who get fired from their jobs because they're going to work late. They're calling out because it's not because that they're lazy, but sometimes their physical condition can add on to their laziness.
Exactly. And I wanted you to go back a little bit because we are celebrating a holiday that I don't particularly celebrate on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. I find it to be a gluttonous, I don't know, free for all. And furthermore, it's a psychological thing with me and how this country was founded. And when I became woke, power to the people, I realized that there's something seriously wrong with this particular holiday. Anyway, as we're going into Turkey Day or what have you, let's talk about, David, how important it is for people not to overdo it or like maybe not eat all that fattening stuff or the sweet stuff. What are some of these things that people should be working on, especially if they are already suffering from medical problems, let's say?
Hmm. Well, it's kind of hard, especially for like the black culture, because we've been so from slavery, we've been like, eating messed up food, like chitlins, which is pig intestines that the slave masters was throwing to like the slaves after, they was like eating and they was giving like slaves the leftovers.
Correct.
Uh,
Slop.
so like within Reverend Al Sharpton's book, The Rejected Stone, he tapped into that. He was talking about addressing issues in reference to like the reason why he changed and transformed himself
That's
is
right.
because the soul food that we was eating was like really meant for us to like eat heavy early in the morning, and then we go into the plantations to like work all day, and
Correct.
by doing all that work automatically burns out all of the food and the fatness that we have in our body from like eating. But on today's standards, we're not working, many of us, it's not working, that hard to the point where we could eat early in the daytime and burn everything out.
Yep.
Many of us is at home playing PlayStations, Xbox, on a computer, internet, doing
That's
a whole
right.
bunch of stuff, sitting on the couch, chilling, smoking, getting high, drunk. I'm not saying all black people doing that, those type
Right.
of behaviors, but those type of behaviors definitely can contribute to
Mm-hmm.
bad health, like bad health behaviors, which causes, bad health conditions. So Thanksgiving is definitely cool. It's okay to like, have your moment to like, chow down, chomp, have a good time and everything. It's just like drinking. It's okay for a person to have a drink once in the blue moon. So you could use Thanksgiving as a form as a once in the blue moon to like, chow down and chomp down and things of that nature. But throughout your regular routine every day after Thanksgiving and before Thanksgiving, a person should be able to like eat healthy, exercise, and have the right people around them that can like, motivate them and inspire them to, live a healthy life, because a lot of times peer pressure,
Oh
when
yes.
people go out, they don't want to be, look like a weirdo or an outcast. So what they do is, they order some food, so they'll order like almost a similar or same type of food. or
Very
if
good point.
or if a guy is eating healthy and he's taking, a chick out, what I'm saying, like on a date, she may be eating all of those, spaghettis and lobsters and steak and all of that, and kind of like pressure him to like, eat those type of foods and everything, because you don't want to like, look like, outcasted and all that. So he'll end up, a lot of times when it comes to a lot of men's health, sometimes it's because of the women that they're around. Because if the woman around is cooking unhealthy, they living together, and he's trying to like, eat healthy and do healthy things, and she's doing the opposite. By doing the opposite, he ends up like, gaining weight and, bad health conditions. And then when it comes to like, the wife or the mother of the household, right? You see her out of shape, eating unhealthy, and then the children. You look at the
That's right.
children. The children be obese, out of shape, unhealthy, lazy. So it definitely trickles down, whether it's like on a physical condition, whether it's like behavior, by doing it throughout the behavior, or the genetic. If the mom is like physically, out of shape and have health conditions, and she gets pregnant and have children, all of those bad health, you know, ailments will, trickle down into, the family. Now I could like, speak in reference to like my physical health condition and everything, because I was born with a hole in my heart, a heart murmur, things of that nature. So still having like, feel little things in my chest at times. I could say, as I start to like get older and do like, some research on, my father. I knew my father was like a smoker and stuff like
Mm.
that. So, that played a part into like my health condition. And then as I started to like get older after my mom passed, and I spoke to like, family members and things of that nature, I found out that my mom was doing like, certain things and had certain type of behaviors that contributed to, my health condition, being born with a hole in my heart and things of that,
Wow.
asthma and stuff of that nature. So I'm not just, speaking out of my ass or, speaking from, egotistical or I read a lot of books and I went to school for this. No, I'm speaking it from a personal experience as well too. And I definitely understand how, health is because, when I was in high school, just to go into like a little educational background, just in case, some people who are listening want to like scrutinize and, like, oh, what did he know? He don't have no education and all of that, just to like, check people on that. I went when I was in high school and when, early in my years, I was a medical assistant, so I
Hmm.
have like a medical, background experience. And I took like a, extended education on my own to like read a medical book. So I definitely understand like how the body works. And, I've been like a scientist and stuff like that, a science kid. So I understand, how the body works and how important health is. So just to like, let those people know, who may try to like scrutinize the conversation or my knowledge and stuff like that. But I don't really like to talk about myself too much, on that aspect. Um, but what I would like to continue to say, like when it comes to the health, you have to like really check on the type of foods that you eat, how you exercise, routine. If you have a car, a lot of times I could speak from like another personal experience. Um, with I gained a little, few pounds, since I've got my vehicle, but I always been like, on the bike,
Yep.
ride my bike and stuff like that. So I always kept like, a slim frame. And sometimes in your life, if you're going through like certain things or things that affects like your mental health, like depression, you could gain like some weight as well too. I remember back in, let's give it like 2004 when my father passed away. I was a little bit depressed. I was a little bit depressed and everything. And I think I went from like, 170, 180 to about, let's say like a little bit, let's give it like 210, 200 pounds and everything, slim down. And then I slimmed down, throughout the years. Went back to like, my 180 frame and stuff like that. But a lot of times when people go through like certain things in life, like depression, or if they're like, in alcohol or doing certain things, they could like, gain weight and, health could like, affect them. So
And
it's
real
definitely,
quick, you said
yeah,
something yesterday too in regards to the times that we're in, especially during the holidays. And people should be very conscientious that we are going through this pandemic. David, I would love for you to reiterate too, because you hit the nail on the head in regards to depression, in regards to what you're dealing with your father in 2004, right? People are dealing with this in 2020 times 20. Like, I know, for example, oh, real quick, we have birthdays to celebrate. Rev Kev of the Crisis Action Center, formerly of the National Action
yeah.
Network, his
Happy
birthday
birthday,
today.
Cap.
Uh-huh. I wanted to say that and shout him out because I feel like out of everybody we know, Rev Kev has lost the most people this year during this pandemic. And
Mm-hmm.
he's still strong and hanging in there. However, it's a thing during this season. And that's why we're talking about this because I want to leave the seeds of motivation, also reminding people to stay healthy. So, David, talk to us about what we shared yesterday a little bit and how can people combat some of that depression and things of that nature. I'll be right back. Keep on talking, David.
All right, cool. So let me just get into it. Now, a reference to like, the Christmas and, the Thanksgiving, the holidays, it's at the end of the year. So, at the end of the year, people, start to like reflect on things that, they've done throughout the year, their accomplishments, their misaccomplishments. And, the thing is that during the beginning of like every year, many people have their New Year's resolution. So many times people don't really get to like follow or accomplish, their New Year's resolution, whether it's to get another job or increase money in your bank account or just doing things just as simple as, just getting into shape, losing weight. And so November and December comes and start to like reflect on the things because the new year is happening. Like, damn, I'm looking throughout the year and I didn't accomplish my New Year's resolution. So people get depressed on that. On Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving is a time where family gets together and reflect and talk about life. And then on Thanksgiving, when your loved ones is not there because they passed away or different circumstances, they're not able to like be there, it can be a depressing time. Especially like if you're alone and things of that nature. And the problem about the image of Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's been like so commercialized and Disneyized. I'm gonna make that into a word. So just for tonight, we're gonna say Disneyized, which means Disney, the image of Disney, always positive, squeaky clean, throughout the history. Um, with those type of images and people see like, oh, this is the standard how Christmas should be. This is the standard how Thanksgiving should be. Family
Mm,
all together is jolly. People become depressed because the reality is that a lot of families are many families out there is not together, especially when it comes to a single parent household where the father may not be around or the parents may be divorced and things of that nature, dysfunctional relationships, kids in the foster homes, things of that nature, people going through like poverty. When you look at the image that society have and the standard of how Thanksgiving and Christmas should be, people can become depressed. And another thing that I just don't really like about when it comes to like the holiday season, such as Thanksgiving and Christmas, for an example, is that, there's like a lot of facades out there. People want to be kind, throughout the holiday season, but, throughout the year, they treat other people like shit and things of
mm.
that nature. And
Talk
very bad.
about it.
So, so the thing is that when um, people, behave, in positive ways during Thanksgiving and Christmas, it shouldn't just be only those times of the year. It should be, throughout every year and every year and every day of their lives.
That's right.
So, you should have the Christmas spirit in July. You should have the Christmas spirit in January, February, March, throughout all the months of the year. You should be, kind to people, have that Christmas spirit. You shouldn't have that Christmas spirit only throughout during Christmas. And let's give Thanksgiving as a time as well too. I've been seeing, so many families, the reason why they're not together is because, so dysfunctional. They don't want to forgive each other. And then you wonder why they don't want to come over to the table during Thanksgiving because, throughout the whole year, you be all funny style. So
Honey style.
why you want to come to, the table just to get a free plate of food and, just to get some food to eat and things of that nature and try to like, have this facade that, everything is all okay when it's really not. So that's why like many people end up being depressed because they don't really know how to socialize or even have problem solving skills, resolution skills,
That's right.
and it's a real problem, and that's why I'm not really into you know Thanksgiving or Christmas. I love it. I love the idea, but I don't believe that it should be only throughout the season of Thanksgiving and the season, throughout Christmas. And also New Year's as well too. New Year's should be, a time to like, restart, reset, and reflect as well too. But if you decide to like, live throughout the year and every day of your life in a positive manner, discipline yourself, things of that nature, then, everything else, be less of a problem. There's always going to be, problems in some way, shape, or form,
Right.
but it can, decrease, the weight of the problem when you decide to like, do those type of things, reference to the health on the social aspect,
That's right.
social aspect. But also I want to talk about like, not just, your physical health is throughout the pandemic, but your financial health is your financial health. The
Talk
reason
about
why
it.
like, a lot of people, many times, the reason why a lot of people was struggling and not following the quarantine rules and laws that was implemented in many parts of this country is because people are not financially stable. The health of the finance uh, wasn't healthy. You know,
Mm,
their bank account was not healthy. Their bank account, many people's bank accounts was on life support.
life support. Thank
Yeah,
you, Lord.
yeah, with the bank account. So they wasn't able to like, have that type of luxury to take a few days, a few weeks. People who are, financially stable or, have the finances, like let's give Sir Richard Branson as an example. Now, Sir Richard Branson and Russell Simmons are two people. I'm just naming two people who didn't have to worry about, quarantine or anything because Sir Richard Branson is on an island. He owns an island, so his finances is very healthy. Russell Simmons is somewhere in Asia on the top of a mountain, somewhere in the mountains doing yoga,
Mm.
isolating himself from people. He's not worrying about finances and things of that nature.
Or that stimulus check.
Yeah, he's not worrying about, like, oh, I need to get that stimulus check. And no, he's not worried about that because he's having, the residual income, which means that, his finances is healthy. So we have to like really like during this pandemic, it's not just our physical health that we have to like focus on, but it's the mental health
Yeah,
because you can't really do anything or have the drive to do anything if your mental health is not good. If you have a lazy mentality, you're not going to want to do anything because you have that lazy mentality.
that's
So
right.
the
You
body
have no
follows the mind.
ambition.
Yeah, the body follows the mind. And then if those two don't work together, then there's no way for the finances could come up because you're not going to have the mental intellect to find ways of creating and generating money to build up your finances. So a lot of these type of things definitely, plays a part. Have the mental capacity to like learn new things so that you could like find ways of like generating money, generating generational wealth, such as for an example, I could say like, investing and doing your research in stocks and bonds and investing in getting products to like sell, creating new products to sell. You have to have the right type of mental mind frame because if you don't have that mental mind frame and if your mental health is not good, then whenever you have an idea, you're gonna be like, oh, that shit is not good, that shit is corny. Or you have people that's around you that's not in the good mental health, they're gonna try to like undermine or
Yes,
dismiss a lot that you're talking about. So that's why the mental health is definitely important, and the financial, because with the financial, then you can have the luxury to like for an example, like a lot of people in Wall Street during the pandemic, because I was doing essential work. So there was like a lot of people that wasn't even in the city. Why? Because they have the finances to go into, to go out of state, to go to like their islands, places like in Long Island where they have like, those little, private islands and, off of Long Island where they could just, be away from, the pandemic and, escape. go, to their, private, cabins, their vacation homes. Why? Because their financial status is, their financial health is very healthy.
That's
So,
right.
you know, so when we talk about health, we got to get into like, the reality, the reality of, health and what health means. It's not just, your physical, your mental health or your spiritual health. It's also financial health too. That's important that people really need to be aware of. But, a lot of times, especially like in the Black community, we lack in resources. We lack in a lot of resources because because we live in a white supremacist, society, in a white supremacist country. So, the average, middle class, white American finances is not the same as a black person that's in middle class, because they don't have like the same type of resources or, things like, for an example, like if a cop, you know, kills somebody unjustly, you know, the way the white supremacists, is set up, all of a sudden they magically have this gold fund and all of these,
Yes, and they're getting bailed out of jail.
bailed out of jail where, if a black person is trying to like, defend himself and everything, he ends up, he or she ends up, many times, being jail without bond, all of that. So because we don't have those type of resources, so that's why it's important to like have the financial health together and getting resources, but like I said before, or like many times I've said before, even before this conversation, that we lack in a lot of resources. We lack in a lot of resources, and we need to like build that up, like working together, within the economics and all of that stuff. We can't be tearing each other down over petty stuff.
Right.
Because if you see like the communities where the economics is together, you see like all of the businesses is working together. But when you have like a community where there are businesses, but they're like this, so I don't mess with this person or I don't mess with that person, and all of the businesses is like that, then it's going to be an issue. Like for example, like Black Wall Street, the reason why their economics was very healthy and it was good is because all of the businesses work together.
Hmm.
They were able to like exchange the monies and
That's right.
the resources and the products, food and everything. They had they even had a lot of the people who was like defending them were like ex World War One veterans and things of that nature. So they had their own protection, they had their resources, they had their weapons, and they was able to like protect themselves. But that's going to be talking about Black Wall Street and the depths of it. That's going to be that's too long for this. It's going to be for like another conversation. And next year is going to be 100 years since the destruction of Black Wall Street.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we have so much that we've gathered from you this evening, but of course, it's never enough when it comes to our people and our communities. David, I really hope we get it together as a people and as those who really care for the benefits of our people, like the future of our people, right? Because the present state of what we're going through is so much, and you've hit so many great points in just a few minutes. Again, circling back, financial health, mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, all of those things really matter, especially now. And people have to understand that you can't grow very far or grow very far without really putting your, I guess, all of your energy towards the right thing, right? Because if you put your energies towards the wrong thing, you will experience the wrong thing. But if you put your energies towards the right things, you will definitely experience the right things. So, David, we're going to shut it down a little early this evening because I have to get back to work on some great, great things that are up and coming. You said so much with the financial health thing because one of the things that people must understand is, true freedom is when you're healthy and you're wealthy in my mind. And I know this to be true because there's so many aspects of, you know, being rich, but then you have no health. I
Yeah,
learned
like Jobs for an example. He was like one of the richest people, in the country, but he died
he died. He
because
got
of.
sick and he died.
Hmm.
And we have to remain vigilant in staying healthy, David, and that's why it's so important. I'm glad you came on tonight because I knew that we had to come back together and share this idea of staying healthy even during these most critical times that we're in and that we're facing. So, David, for the people that are out there, tell them where they can find you and how to continue to stay in contact. It seems like tonight is I want to say not a dead night, but it's more like a quiet night because it's the holiday season and people are like really going ham, get it? And that's one of the things that I don't understand about our community. I saw a post, and I have to share this real quick with you. I saw a post recently where it said white people's Thanksgiving, and it had a list of about maybe 10 items. And then right under it said Black people's Thanksgiving. And it had a list of maybe 100 items.
It'll be interesting. And another thing is that Black people's Thanksgiving in many communities is church line. They're on the line waiting for free food and things of that nature. When it comes to the white privilege society of Thanksgiving,
Talk about that, David. Talk about that.
it's in the house. A big house, big table, looking like Jesus' Last Supper. So white Jesus' Last Supper, just to be specific. But it's real interesting, like how things is reference like Thanksgiving, but just to like drop some gems and just to give like some additional advice for before we finish this conversation is that the finances, make sure your finances is together. Don't spend money on things that you're not going to benefit from, like
Frivolous.
yeah, like frivolous and lavish things such as $500 shoes, $300 weaves, nails, hair and nails and everything. If you realize that you're beautiful with or without the makeup and things of that nature, you don't really need to like spend money on things when you realize that you're a gem yourself.
Mm.
So you have to like definitely realize that the finances, like I said, it's no purpose of like spending like $500 and like let's go to like the Gucci Mane and the
Yes. Talk
G,
about that,
of
David.
Gucci Mane was saying that I got a $10,000 outfit, and talk about like he got like $3 million or somewhere around that line, $1 million in jewelry. And then Jeezy, came with his response saying like, I own half of Atlanta, which means by owning half of Atlanta means that we have like several businesses and things of that nature,
Yep.
property, and that's a part of like financial wealth, because you can have a $10,000 outfit, but when push comes to shove and shit hits the fan, that $10,000 outfit is not really going to hit you, or help you in reference to it's like you're not going to sell that for $10,000.
Facts. It
By the
depreciates.
time,
It
yeah,
depreciates in a
yeah,
few minutes. Yep.
and the jewelry that you have, you could probably be able to like sell it, but nobody's gonna really buy that, at the on the spot, and if you pawned it, it's not gonna be like the same amount that you paid for.
Correct.
So you actually losing money on that. So by having businesses, you were able to have generational wealth,
Yes.
uh, residual income. So checks is coming from all different types of angles. You see, another thing is that during the pandemic, during the corona, when it started, there was a lot of people who was laid off of their jobs,
Yeah.
and they had jobs for a long time, and they only was accustomed to one job. You see, the average, a smart person would have, with me, for an example, always have multiple sources of income. So that's why, a lot of times, if I do take a certain type of job, or people want to hire me or want to keep me for something, like let's say a set schedule or something like that, lock me on a salary, I'm the type of person that they may not like, because they know that, with or without them, that I'm good. Many
Yeah.
times people like to, have you in the position where they can control you. And, if you're, a lot of times in corporate America, you know, the people that they're easily able to control and manipulate are the ones who's struggling,
Yep.
and the ones who have one job, which is that job. And they could easily pressure them or control them. But I remember when I was working on my old salary job as a social worker and everything, a lot of things that was coming to me, a lot of bullshit, stupid stuff, I didn't even really worry about and everything, because I'm listen, I'm trying to do the right thing, trying to do my job and everything. And you're not doing your stuff, but I'm not gonna let you push me or boss me around.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So a lot of these jobs, end up. I mean, these jobs, would try to manipulate, the narcissistic ones on corporate America. They'll control. That's why it's important to have your finances and stuff together. So just in case you lose your job or whatever you work in, you always got this to fall back on. And
Absolutely.
that was a major problem, especially when it came to the restaurant businesses. A lot of people who were making money as a bartender, caking sometimes hundreds, depending on where they at, it can be thousands a night. And then
Right.
when everything shut down and everything, there was there was in the air, there was stranded. They didn't
That's
know what
right.
to do. And it was no telling when these places, and there was a lot of big major corporations was shutting down and downsizing and laying people off. And some people was getting that unemployment check, but
Correct.
that unemployment check wasn't that same type of feel, and it wasn't going to really last long. So people were really, really, really struggling. People, and to this day, people are still struggling, because there's a lot of companies and businesses that closed down and didn't open back up.
Oh, yeah, a ton of them. And David, real quick, Robin Clanton says, hello, everyone. Welcome, Robin. Welcome. We love you. Oh, and the Cardinal Enchantress also has joined us on IG. Welcome, my sister. We're talking to David McFly Mims about this pandemic, but also just staying healthy emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. I think I got all five of them. And I love what you're sharing, David. And I have to say, and I know some people are going to be like, oh my God, Aniya, you're such a whore. Okay, whatever. I'm so not. So, one of the things that I just recalled about this pandemic and, talking about places shutting down is the fact that strip clubs done shut down too, David. Let's talk about these strippers that were making a whole lot of money. Yes, you know it, sister.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
strippers, listen, some of these strippers make like over $100,000 a year, okay? And I can only imagine how they're feeling during this pandemic, because strippers are human too. But I
Uh,
brought that up because they're in that industry,
yeah,
whereas you literally are catering to people's needs, and it's almost like the waitressing thing that you were
yeah, yeah. But check this out. This is where the mental health comes in place. Now,
exactly.
if your mental health is good and you're intelligent enough to reinvent yourself and do things innovative, um, a lot of strippers was able to go into OnlyFans. And
Oh my God, that porn site. Are you kidding me?
OnlyFans is not porn. OnlyFans is
Okay,
not
because
porn.
I
It's
thought it was
it's
porn.
just exclusive. Many people can do porn and stuff like that, but it's not really designed, for porn, because OnlyFans can be, a celebrity doing like special lectures and stuff like that, or people doing lectures and everything, and
Really?
to avoid all of those extra stuff, they'll have like a OnlyFans, and have like a course on that for people to like pay, if they don't want to go to like other channels to like do the courses and the Zoom class and the meetings and everything. Churches can have an OnlyFans.
What?
Yeah, yeah,
Churches can
churches.
have an OnlyFans.
Yeah,
I thought it
churches.
was a place where they twerk and shake and pop that. You know what? Jesus,
Yeah,
take
yeah,
the
but
wheel.
the thing is that if churches want to like have people to like have donations and stuff like that, instead of asking for like donations, to have like an exclusive ceremony or service, and people will go onto the OnlyFans and pay to see it. Concerts, like artists, if artists want to have like a special concert and everything, there's other channels that they could go through to like generate income and to like
So,
have tickets, that instead of doing that, they could do it on the OnlyFans and all of
so
that.
it's essentially almost like a virtual world where you can buy a ticket to enter.
Yes, exactly. So that's what
Oh,
so
all
that's what
this time
OnlyFans.
I thought OnlyFans were for strippers and whores. Wow.
Well, the good thing about OnlyFans is that it's no filter. That's the thing. Like when you go to like these other services, they'll have like community guidelines and things of that nature. And people who hate on it, they can like easily flag, and everything will be like shut down. Like for an example, like if YouTube, if you're doing like something where people can like donate and pay, and then you have like these trolls and stuff like that, or haters will flag it down, and then you lose the channel, and then you lose your money and stuff like that. With the OnlyFans, it's like really
All
it's
bets are
it's
off.
more freedom. You have more freedom to do like a lot of things. So if you want to like have sex and record it live and stuff like that, you could do it on OnlyFans, and people will pay for it. Some people will pay top bucks. There's people who like have certain fetishes, like foot fetish and all of that stuff, and all different types of things. They could be able to like do it on OnlyFans, and through OnlyFans they'll be able to do it and generate some money. I know some people personally. I know some people who made like from like 30,000 to like 100,000 a month on OnlyFans.
I've heard of this. And what are
Yeah.
they doing? What are they doing?
Some is like shaking their ass. I ain't keeping it real. Some of them doing a little little show little skin and things of that nature. And
The
this.
boring people like Aniya A, who has a Haitian father and mother who said they will kill me, only keeps my fan clothes on. I keep all my clothes on. I don't twerk or shake nothing. Because honestly, David, like that's all good now, but the people that respect you will never respect you again if they see you in that fashion. I'm just saying.
You know what's funny? It's funny because you some of these people may not like you, or may have like an issue with it. You know, probably because you may be broke, or you may not have that type of fame or that clout. But I know there's like some people who's like entertainers and stuff like that, and people end up like respecting them because they made like millions and billions of dollars. Oh, now they're respected now, but this person over here in the neighborhood has been doing the same thing, but
Yeah.
respect. It's like a lot of hypocrites out here. Some of these people who would look down on you and shame on you will end up like kissing up. It's like, for an example, like, the neighborhood drug dealer. You have people in the community be like, "Oh, I don't like drug dealers and everything," but you
50
know,
Cent.
but if they're making like millions and billions of dollars and everything, they'll end up like playing along with the game, or like respecting because probably grease their palms a bit, with some money and some cash and everything. So now it's all good. So there's like a lot of hypocrisy, in our society. So a lot of times when people say like, "Oh, want to shame you for doing this," or like, for example, you may have like an idea or a dream, and they may think it's all crazy and everything. But soon as you become
It
very
takes off.
successful, they want to be your friend and all of that stuff. It's
Facts.
I remember like speaking of 50 Cent for an example. Um, I was working at a label with Chris Lighty at Violator, and I remember there was like people who didn't even want to work with 50 Cent, at all. And soon as Eminem signed him and gave him that, I think it was like $1 million or $2 million in advance. Now all of a sudden, everybody want to work with 50 Cent.
Yeah. That's how it happens, David. And that's why I tell people to be good to everybody, no matter what, because the same person you crap on today is the person you're going to more than likely need tomorrow. So it's in your best interest. And for anybody tuning in tonight, I know this is supposed to be about health and wellness, but it all goes hand in hand. And I love that you brought that point up as well, because at the end of the day, some people really shoot themselves in the foot by being nasty and negative, right? The best way to kill a potential opportunity is to just be negative right up front. Being open minded really has never killed anybody. I mean, that's in my opinion, but whatever. Just stay positive, people. Like, that's my motto and my method in life. There's a method to my madness, and it's literally staying positive as much as possible, as well as always giving back, because those two things really keep me grounded. But yeah, that's crazy that you said that about 50 Cent, because I think presently they're shooting power right in Mount Vernon. Shout out to Totney. We drove by the shoot earlier today in Mount Vernon. I think at City Hall, if I'm not mistaken, they were out there earlier today. So I'm super glad that we got to talk about all of this, and that you are such a positive light in our community, David. You know so much and you share so much. And I'm so glad that we're connected. Yeah, we're about to shut it down. Please tell the people where they can find you, Mr. David McFly Mims, the one and only Harlemite throughout the hood near you, doing his thing, sharing great insight, and making this community a lot better. Oh yeah, when are you gonna let me borrow your drone though? So I can.
You gotta learn on the fly. But
I know.
but I'll say like you can find me on Google. You just Google my name, David McFly Mims, and then on Instagram, Twitter, at HD McFly, HDMCFLY. That's HDMCFLY on Instagram and Twitter. But you Google my name and you'll be able to like find me and a lot of things, and be able to like do your research and stuff like that. And that's mainly it. That's mainly it. I'm not really hard to find.
You are not hard to find, but you're also on Aniya A's page. And I'm so thankful that we're in the movement together, David, and that you really have great insight. Like, every time we speak, it's like I learn a plethora of information, like insane amounts of information. And that makes me really happy to know that I can learn something every time we speak, especially
Well, we
tonight.
learn from each other. We all learn from each other.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel
Like,
better. Like I'm actually giving back some knowledge as well. That's super great. Amen to that, honey. Listen, this dog is an absolute nightmare, and he is just the sweetest thing when he wants to be. But that other one, Ooh, you know, David, what I'm going through. I gotta take these bad boys out, honey. Praise the Lord. So, David, anything? So you don't celebrate Thanksgiving either. Before we shut down, I wanted to ask you. So you don't celebrate like me, huh?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie and everything. You know, I don't mind chomping down or something like that, or like one of the women that I date, invite me over for a plate and everything. You know, I don't mind, grabbing something to eat and all that stuff. So the spirit of Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
the positive spirit of Thanksgiving, definitely celebrate. Reference like finding ways of getting together, networking, chopping it up. Thanksgiving will be like a good time to like do some good networking, sharing resources and building.
Yep.
Because for the economics to be fully functional and into like fruition, um, people need to like be able to communicate. So for it to like I said, for community and economics to be like really fruitful,
There you go.
we have to like be able to like communicate, get along, work together, share ideas and things of that nature. So I would say like this year, if you're not physically able to like meet up, with your family, connect with them online, social media, do some Zooms, chop it up, chop it up on some business, careers, ideas, share your dreams, and find ways of like building, especially like on your physical health as well.
Amen.
Exercise, give like some good ideas, what type of foods to eat, um, vegetables and fruits. All of those things is important.
I don't
Because,
feel like
like
our
share that
people
information.
eat fruits and vegetables during these seasons. Like they eat fried everything and literally smother everything in a bunch of grease. But I'm hopeful that
Well, that's the mentality and everything. That's why you got to change your mentality. So
yeah,
that's a way of, doing your, I could say like your rehabilitation on your mental health side is to, practice. Practice makes perfect, and discipline and everything. A lot of us lack a lot of discipline in our
totally.
and everything. So we have to like definitely, work on that. So I'll say like just practice, practice, eating healthy and stuff like that. You don't have to do it every single day, but do it as much as you can and develop a habit. Because I remember I changed my eating from like eating like a lot of red meat. So there was a time I just decided to like, go to like a Jamaican food spot and, get some beef stew, you know what I'm saying? So when I decided to eat that, I could feel the difference of like when it entered my body and
Mm,
how it's like stuck there and stayed, in my chest and stuff like that. So I was like, and my body started to like in a way kind of like rejecting it because, I haven't really been accustomed, to like eating it like how I used to eat it, like, every other day.
right.
So, it's just like really just conditioning your body. So, conditioning your body and your mind, on your mental mind frame. And, just to also chop it up with your family members and reference like ideas, stocks, like, hey, speak to your cousin that you haven't spoken to a while and tell them about like, these new stocks that's coming up. Like, for an example, New Jersey next year, they're implementing, a law in reference to like, marijuana and stuff like that.
Mm,
So like, hey, I know this stock right here, with the marijuana company, they're about $8 right now, or like, $6 right
yeah.
now. So, let's invest in that. Why don't you invest in that? Put like 100 or 200 or like $500 into it. And then the next thing you know, like from January to like by the summertime, it increased like about 50%, 50% and everything. So you end up gaining a lot of money
A
off
lot of
that.
money off that stock.
A lot of money. So you know that's why it's good to like be able to like chop it up with family members, share like ideas, or like even with the pandemic and everything. Like, hey, you into like fashion, right? So why don't you design some cool sweaters or some cool shirts that has the that has a mask implemented into it,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, your cousin is, or your aunt, your uncle is, designing all of these cool clothes and everything,
Yep.
and brand is end up, popping and all of that stuff. That's a way of, like, sharing resources by sharing intelligence in a way. So all of these type of things is, like, important, and this is how we should, like, utilize, Thanksgiving, to, like, focus on, the physical health, sharing ideas on the mental health, like, doing yoga, meditating, reading good books, reading good books on um, improving your mental health, reading books on finances, building new skills, developing new skills. So in that way, that could, like, transform into, like, your financial health within, your business and careers, because it's been, like, a lot of people this year, even though there's been people who was suffering this year and people who died on, this year during the corona and
Yeah.
pandemic. There has been people who actually, kind of benefited from it.
A
You
lot
know,
of
it
people.
was
Yeah.
like they was able to, like, use, like, these online companies to, like, sell, like, a lot of products, services, companies such as Grubhub, Uber Eats, Uber was able to, like, make a lot of money because more people started to, like, use that because they didn't want to do
Yeah.
public transportation, so they grabbed an Uber. They didn't want to go outside to eat, so they ordered Uber Eats and stuff like that,
Correct.
ordered Grubhub food and stuff like that. So a lot of these businesses end up, like, boosting and everything. So what we need to do is we need to, improve our mental health so that we could be more intelligent to, like, come up with, like, innovative ideas and for, like, the next few years. See, like, what companies may end up, like, boosting, or what can we do to, like, start a business that people would need, because what we need to do is we need to, like, focus on the needs and everything, people's needs. So the supply and demand, you
Yeah.
know if you
Solution.
have if you
Solution.
have, like, a lot of things, a lot of supply that people need, the demand is going to be, like, heavy, especially if the competition is not, having those type of ideas, or having those, type of thoughts and stuff like that. So these type of things is definitely important. So don't, like I said before, don't use Thanksgiving as an opportunity to, like, go to somebody's house and eat, or be with your boyfriend or girlfriend, have sex and stuff like that. Use Thanksgiving as a time and opportunity to, like, grow your family, grow your finances, grow your physical health, be able to, like, communicate,
That's
and
right.
have the economics together.
I love that, David. You're absolutely correct. And I need to invite you to my economic crisis initiative. Matter of fact, I see some people that are on tonight that are part of that endeavor. You hit the nail on the head in regards to the economics, David, and that financial stability, etc. So when we get off this line, we can talk about that a little bit, because that is something that I want you to be a part of. We have a workshop coming up. For those that are wondering, what is ECI? It's the Economic Crisis Initiative, brought to you by your girl Aniya A in partnerships with several different entities. We'll talk more about that offline. In the interim, let's continue to grow and build. It's our time. You've been tuned in to your girl Aniya A. You've heard from David McFly Mims, the one and only Harlemite, who keeps it real and 100 with us as he gives us some great insight. Again, It's Our Time by Lachi. See you guys tomorrow night. Thank you, David.
Take care, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
We just want a piece of the pie. So we pack our bags and run. Said we pack our bags and run. Trying to walk on the wire. Cause there's nothing we cannot overcome. Nothing we cannot overcome. 'Cause we're gonna fight to survive. They will not knock us off our groove. They will not knock us off our groove. They don't realize. They don't realize. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Guys, it's our time. Our time to fly. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Thank you. I love you, sister. They'll see with their own eyes. It will come as no surprise. They'll climb the rock most high. It's time for new chapters. Still the pages of love, lies, and laughter. I pack my bags, look ahead into the light, and I'm ready to claim my dreams. And I'm ready to take the flight. Hi, West Fat. Welcome. Thank you for joining. It's our time, so we gotta take the world on. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. I'm great. I'm great. Inbox me, please. DM me. It's been forever. 'Cause it's our time. Our time to fly. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. 'Cause it's our time. Our time to fly. It's our time to fly. It's our time to change. We don't need a reason why. Let's make a change. Take us through. Nothing will to it's our time. We're off to rule the world. We're off to rule. We're gonna rule the world. Have a great night, guys. See you guys soon. Tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. live.